positive mindset, looking yourself in the mirror, pumping yourself up before a close, all those things. I don't think personally having a super positive thinking is going to make you a better salesman. I don't think it's going to make you close better, but it definitely will make you do better than having a negative thought process. So like having a positive thought process isn't going to help you close more, but it'll definitely help more than if you have a negative, right? So if you go in and think positive, yeah, you may still not get that sale, but the effect of having a positive attitude and making that next phone call is going to ultimately help you close more deals. Because if you allow yourself to get so beat up when you jump on one phone call with a prospect, when you're trying to sell lead gen, and it affects you in a negative way, then we want to go watch television. We want to take a break. We want to do this. We don't want to do that. And we fall off the horse, and it takes us a day or 2 days or 3 days to get back on that horse. But if we have a positive mindset moving forward in some of these pitches, we're going to be like, oh, we just move right on to the next one and keep on moving. So having a good outlook is going to increase your close rate for sure. And I think that really starts with self-image. And again, I think this goes back to what I was saying in the very beginning. You have to really get good at practicing speech. You have to get good at talking to people. It says that the number one fear most people have is public speaking. And the second one is death. I think that's a Jerry Seinfeld joke. So that means most people would rather die than give a eulogy at a funeral. And so that is the norm. So you have to have a positive outlook on yourself, and you have to get used to speaking. So many of your sales calls, I can guarantee, going back, and you may not believe me, but so many of you have sales calls that end with no attempt to close, meaning that you never asked for the deal, meaning that the objections come and they say, no, this is the reason that I can't, but you never ask, meaning that the reason you can't is because you have to talk to your husband. Okay, great. You have to talk to your husband. One of the objections is, what are you going to do if your husband says no, or if your spouse says no? Are you still going to move forward? Does your husband believe, or does your wife believe in you to make a good financial decision for your family? There's a lot of different can handle that objection, but a lot of us sit there and say, oh, I completely understand. Why don't you go talk to your husband and we'll talk next week? And you never get back on that phone call again. Or why don't you go talk to your wife and we'll talk about it next week? And we never get back on that phone call, and we never asked for the sale, meaning that we told them the price, we got that one objection, we got sympathetic with that objection, and we never asked for the sale. You think you asked for the sale because you told them the price, but in reality, you never asked them to buy. You said, this is what it cost. You got an objection and you got off the phone. Go back and look at how often that we do that. And I still do that. If I'm not like on sharp, if I'm not being sharp, I will still do that. So you have to ask for the sale. So even if you get better at that one thing and saying, I am not going to get off this phone call unless I ask for money, meaning even if your objection handling sucks and whatever, if you ask for the sale, you're going to increase the amount of sales because you're asking for more money. Let's see what Char says here. To piggyback, Jared is saying the other thing you want to do is also give yourself the highest probability of success prospecting for the right client to make your leads. Yes. Looking for people that are already buying. Thumbtack, Angie's List, sponsored ads, mailers. Basically get yourself prepared for the right people to contact as well, and how you contact them. Prospecting is extremely important. You should never run out of prospecting. Like literally, probably twice a week, you get something in the mail that could give you a new client list. 1000% every day you can get on Facebook Marketplace, Angie's List, Thumbtack, and find people that are potential buyers, potential prospects. And remember, having a positive attitude, like people aren't rejecting you. They're just rejecting your product or your solution. They're just rejecting your offer. And if they're rejecting your offer, then we just need to make better offers. We need to make our offer sometimes so good that it's really hard to say no. And that may be meaning increasing the benefits. That might be meaning lowering the price a little bit or whatever, but increasing the benefits. They're not rejecting you. They're just rejecting the offer. So sometimes I'll have to be souped up and say, hey, not only am I going to include XYZ, we're going to include ABC. We're going to do GMB management or GBP management or all these other things. So staying positive is really important.